Hello, YouTube. This is your warning and notice that you do not have to watch this video. Nobody is making you watch this video, and this is your chance to click off, to go to another video, or go do something completely different. If you don't want to watch this video, the owner of Fire Mecca has been posting lies and lying to friends, associates, acquaintances of theirs. They were removed from their Black Rock Ranger status, um, and subsequently, that was through a Burning Man organization, and it looks like they're still using the Burning Man name under Burners Without Borders, and lying to um, business associates of theirs, and we're going to take a look at that. Again, this is the owner of Fire Mecca, and really this video is to people in the flow arts community, that this person is running this company that sells flow art stuff and was involved in assaulting me, doxing me online, and we're going to go through some of that stuff here. Um, and so to kind of start off, last time I checked, so some of you might be aware of something called the T app. Um, it also goes by things like "Are we dating the same guy?" or "Sis, is this your man?" And the owner of Fire Mecca um, used that platform to defame me, dox me, slander or libel me, and then subsequently participated in assault. And the assault was why they were removed from their Black Rock Ranger status. Um, and the thing is, the last time I checked, the post that they made in um, the "Are We Dating the Same Guy" group is still up, and the last time I checked, they still posted things in there, and I'm not sure why. Not sure why they haven't taken that down yet. Um, but they have left it up for some unknown reason, and I'm wondering if the next time I check, it will be removed. So we'll see if next time I check, it is removed. Um, so we're going to go through um, a lot of the things that they did. One of them, um, tons of nasty, nasty, horrible stuff. Um, One of them being spreading rumors that I have restraining orders against me, which is not true. And the videos in this channel not only show what the owner of Fire Mecca did to me, but also go through. I don't have restraining orders. I did what I could to run a background check to show you that I don't have anything on my background, no restraining orders, no any kind of criminal history or anything like that. But this person, the owner of Fire Mecca, wanted to spread rumors that that was the case, outright lies, in order to harm my reputation. This person made the choice to go out of their way to do that and just make that up. Um, so some new things. They go by Fulcrum AZ sometimes online. This was one of the handles that they used as a Black Rock Ranger. You can, I believe, well, this is one of their handles that they use. The owner of Fire Mecca. So the owner of Fire Mecca decided to comment on one of these videos. They're the same person that owns and runs Fire Mecca LLC, that sells fire props for flow arts. And the thing is, if you work for Fire Mecca, you do affiliate information or affiliate links or something like that for Fire Mecca, they could do this to you because I worked for them. So they went out of their way to comment on this video. I took it down because I'm sick and tired of them spreading lies about me online. And we don't want lies online. So if you watch the other videos where like an evidence-based videos here, and we'll go into how they are spreading lies to other people in their community. So what is the comment? This is the comment that they made. It says, "It's cute how you covered the majority of the dismissal letter because it's about you." That's not true, and I don't know why they would say that. They don't have the dismissal letter. I did share the dismissal letter on this channel, and there were things that were irrelevant that had to do with the Black Rock Ranger process that I felt was not necessary for people to know. But the reason that was shared is because the owner of Fire Mecca went online and told people that they resigned, not that they were dismissed, and that is a lie. Right here, this is the comment that they're referencing here. This is the comment. They said, "I resigned in August." This is not true. This is a lie. Okay? They were removed. They were dismissed. Their time as a Black Rock Ranger has ended after violating their policies. Then they go on to say, "You're whining a bunch of unpaid volunteers who wouldn't care if I died." This is what the owner of Fire Mecca wrote about their fellow volunteers in Burners Without Borders. Writes that their fellow volunteers wouldn't care if they died, let alone if you ruin my career. Please get a life and stop harassing me and my friends and my family. So there's lies in here. I have never contacted their family. I don't really even know who their family is. They don't know what harassment is, it sounds like. That's a very specific legal term. And it says that the unpaid volunteers at Burners Without Borders wouldn't care if I ruin their career. Although I'm not really sure what this is about, other than maybe getting the truth out there possibly is hurting their career. Not sure. I mean, I've said before, when companies do bad things, typically we want to call them out for that. Like we're all familiar with like things like Yelp reviews and stuff like that. So maybe this is getting around, but here's the thing, you know, I've said before, I've only covered maybe 25% of what has happened, even. And what is still so surprising to me is that last time I checked in the Are We Dating the Same Guy group, not only is that original post still there for some reason, hasn't got through to them to take it down. If any of their friends have said maybe you should take that down, they haven't listened. If any of their friends have said maybe you should take down the lies, they haven't done so. Not really sure about this. Is this ruining the owner of Fire Mecca's business? Well, people need to know what they did to one of their, like when I was doing work for them, it was affiliate work, but it wasn't like paid labor, right? Like you could say I was also unpaid. But then when I stopped doing that affiliate work, it was after that when the owner of Fire Mecca decided to defame me, libel, post a bunch of lies about me, and Are We Dating the Same Guy? And all I did was stop working for them. So, knowing this information, if you are in fire spinning or in the flow arts, just a warning, there are other companies that you possibly could do affiliate work with. Just a warning, if you do affiliate work with Fire Mecca, and I can see who those people are. They put hashtag Fire Mecca in their like Instagram videos and stuff. That if you stop working for them, they could do this. And not only was the owner of Fire Mecca caught, but they haven't even taken the post down. Okay? So, is this hurting their prop making career? I don't know. But I have said to one of their business partners that, if that was essentially, if that was really the goal, I've only put like 2% effort into even letting people know, because I mean, I'm wondering if the next time I see if that post was taken down, if it will be taken down. But when I check and it's still there, 2% effort, who knows what 3% or 4% effort looks like into making sure people know about the behavior of this company. Really, the behavior of the owner, the person that runs Fire Mecca. 2% effort, and they're saying their friends don't care or these unpaid volunteers don't care if they died or if their career was ruined. If that was the goal, haven't really gone in that direction. I mean, what would that look like? Might be a good question. So, now it's been said that I think I have the screenshot from YouTube. Not sure if it's going to be in this video, but where they were told, this is basically, not taking this post, the Are We Dating the Same Guy post down. Basically, they were told you don't seem to understand how SEO works, this will be tied to your business. And when you do this to someone that worked for you, it's going to be tied to your business. Um, what so like I said, what the question, what would more than 2% effort look like? Because from my perspective, that's all that has been going on. I mean, I've been told right here, like, get a life, like, don't you have anything better to do? And I've said, you know, these are, trivially easy to make. It's not really hard or anything like that. Um, so, what would 3% or 4% effort in helping people in the flow arts community know about Fire Mecca and what they've done? Um, well, like, they've got to know. Maybe they don't know, but there's tons of groups for flow arts where people buy and sell and share information. They share information about um, festivals, and they share information. They share tips and tricks, and they share relevant information in this hobby about different props. All the time, you'll see people saying like, "Hey, which dragon staff, did you like for this reason or that reason?" And people be like, "Oh, I bought this, or I bought from Dark Monk, or I bought from uh, whatever different companies, and here's why I liked it, or here's why I didn't like it, or this company has better poi, but this company has better staffs," and people share information about what they like and don't like, and just different stuff, what's going on in within the hobby. And these happen all the time on groups like this, and some of them are smaller, some are larger. It's not still pretty niche hobby. There's the flow arts community, circus and flow arts Chicago, Virginia flow arts, Denver flow arts, Tulsa, flow arts, all these groups, 3,000 members, 5,000 members, Chicago flow arts, Oregon coast, some more, all these groups, Sunwheel flow arts, Richmond flow arts club. Here's one with 1.5 thousand members, flow arts instructors, Flow Hive, Oregon, Circus Flow Arts, Los Angeles Flow Arts, Drum Circles Flow Arts. Some of these have a couple hundred members, some have a couple thousand. Fire performers, fire and dance safety discussion, amazing flow arts, dragon staff. I mean, this isn't even all of them. Contact staff community, dragon staff tutorials, flow sessions, contact staff, 23,000 members, dragon staff Skillshare, contact and dragon staff. So there's tons of forums. There's more. Okay. Fire performances, fire performers network, I don't. This is not all of them. And then there's I think there's then there's also like Reddit ones, right? Like there's a big one on Reddit with 21,000 members. Um, so is this these videos, the 2% effort? They're saying my unpaid volunteers wouldn't care if you ruin my career. Okay. I mean, I'm not really worried about them. I'm kind of more worried about the other people that the owner of Fire Mecca might want to become affiliates and are not aware um, that they're potentially setting themselves up to be harmed by the owner of Fire Mecca in this way, and they should at least be able to make informed choices about who they're working for. So, besides all of the stuff that I've already covered here, I'm going to go over some new things. As I've said, I haven't covered everything, and maybe some things we've already talked about, mostly about the lies that the owner of Fire Mecca um, perpetuates. And this might jump around a little bit, but some of this is going to focus on it's going to focus on a few different lies. One of them is going to be this whole thing about after the assault, they were removed from their Black Rock Ranger status. And um, we know that because I shared the dismissal letter. And we also got a message from somebody that also confirms that they were removed. That's not really much of a question. But the owner of Fire Mecca um, has said in a number of public places that they were not removed and that actually they resigned, which is a lie. And they said this right here on YouTube. I resigned in August, they said, which is not true. The type of person that has no problem lying to people, lying to their customers and their friends, people that they work with. I leave it up to you whether someone like this is someone to work for. Um, what else would they lie about? Maybe everything. So I know this is going to jump around a little bit, but that is going to be one of the things we're going to cover that they lied about, even being dismissed. Um, so, little background, as I already said, this is where they wrote. This is not all the places that they wrote this, but they wrote online on Facebook that I have various restraining orders. Here at the top, they write this. Second one down, I have restraint that they're talking about me. I have restraining orders. Third one down, there are restraining orders. All of this is lies. And the bottom one, his friend started messaging me about his various restraining orders. So this is what I was saying. I do not have any restraining orders. But not only did they spread this lie, they lied saying other people told them about this, which is also likely a lie. We don't know who those people are. They've never even said that, but we did find out that either the owner of Fire Mecca ran an illegal background check on me, or lied about running a background check on me. And to the people that I've talked to already, you need to understand that the owner of Fire Mecca has lied to you about this, because it's not possible that a background check even shows I have anything like that. Okay, this is malicious. Um, so they're sorry, my phone just beeped. Their business partner Jill has commented on a YouTube video saying that the owner of Fire Mecca, they work together on Burners Without Borders. That the owner of Fire Mecca um, had reasons um, to say that I had restraining orders, and so I have uh, let Jill know that they were lied to. But even with that knowledge, um, because after Jill was made aware that that was false information, um, Jill, who is also one of the people that runs Burners Without Borders there, um, basically didn't care. And if you go volunteer for Burners Without Borders, I mean, I was pretty open minded that maybe Jill had some kind of moral sense. Um, but that's so far turning out not to be the case. Um, a lot of this reminds me of this movie that's, maybe it'll come back to me. It's not coming to mind at this moment, where there's this movie where this guy is basically like this bad guy, but in order to prop up his image, he gets involved in these philanthropies, even though behind the scenes he's like this bad guy. If it comes back to me, I'll mention the movie, or maybe I can in the comments. This whole thing kind of reminds me of that. You have the owner of Fire Mecca um, propping up, oh, I do all this philanthropy, I must be a good person, but it looks like it's just a front. And when I had a conversation with one of the other people involved in Burners Without Borders, um, maybe thinking, well, they're involved, Jill's involved in this philanthropy, like maybe they have a moral sense. It's not looking like that's the case, unfortunately. So as of now, I mean, I'm still open minded that there is some kind of moral sense in there. But as of now, it's looking like if you get involved or if you volunteer with that chapter of Burners Without Borders, um, you have two of the main people who have no problem with lies. Because Jill knew that these were lies, yet still um, comments and is close friends with the owner of Fire Mecca, saying, I'm grateful for our friendship, for keeping Burners Without Borders alive. And Jill, based on our conversation, Jill knows that the owner of Fire Mecca and their Burners Without Borders partner spread these lies about me, and that and didn't care, and is choosing to continue to be friends with the owner of Fire Mecca, choosing to keep working with them, and it's looking more and more like they're totally okay with this type of behavior. Um, I don't know, like, um, another situation where you find out absolutely abhorrent behavior from a business partner, and not only do you say you're grateful for the friendship, but you want to keep working with them. And like, it's one thing to kind of know about it, um, and maybe not be exactly sure what to do, and another thing to basically just be okay with it, which is looking like that is the case. So we might have to talk about that some more. So, like I said last time I checked, this is from the Are We Dating the Same Guy group. Um, and like I said last time I checked, the owner of Fire Mecca here, Corinne Vivers, was still posting in there last time I checked, and uh, continuing to spread lies. We also found out that they had reacted to some other posts in there, and so they still doing stuff in that group. This is what they wrote. Just updating that. Oh, so we have talked about the weapon threats, and it looks like they like to use, use people with weapons to bully people around, which is, we, like I said, I've only covered like 25% of what they've done, but they write, just updating, I've had to file several police reports because he's created 4 YouTube channels and posted videos slamming me and my friends. So, um, uh, telling the truth about someone and their behavior is what has been done. Um, I'm leaving this post up because no one should risk being this guy's next online stalking and bullying victim. Uh, well, telling the truth about someone spreading lies about you on the internet is actually the right thing to do. Um, and this was quite interesting. They said, if you're bored and want to see what I mean, search my legal name or business name on YouTube and you'll find all his secret accounts. So, first of all, these aren't secret accounts. Okay? The owner of Fire Mecca is the only one who's been trying to do things in secret. It looks like the owner of Fire Mecca and at least one of their associates that I know, and based on text messages that I've got, they're the one that likes to do things in secret, and especially bad things in secret, and then have a totally different public image. Okay? Uh, these aren't secret accounts. This isn't a secret YouTube channel. Okay? Um, but this is might be the best thing that they've done so far is encourage people to look up the truth. Okay, I'm not thinking it's likely many of these people would do this, but it, I think they just want attention, but that's definitely just a conjecture. Um, but if you found this, um, yeah, you can see that this is what's going on, telling the truth about what they're doing. Um, and like I said, the 2% effort, it's, I don't think a lot of people are going to search for this, but I can help. I mean, maybe it is something that the owner of Fire Mecca wants. They say, if you want to see what I mean, there's these YouTube channels, and maybe they want people to see this. I mean, it almost sounds like they're encouraging more people to know what happened. Um, this 20,000 person group here could know what happened, and a bunch of these other flow art groups could maybe know what happened. But we'll, like I said, we'll just see if the post is still up. This is other stuff that they wrote in there. This is in the Are We Dating the Same Guy group that I've already shown what the group is. Yeah, there's more lies in here. Like I said, this is mostly going to be about the lies. So we're going to talk about this one. Someone's basically asking about, like, in a nutshell, this doesn't, the owner of Fire Mecca story doesn't totally make sense. People do question, like, the story doesn't seem to like line up exactly. And the owner of Fire Mecca writes, he bought something from my shop, which is true. Now, here's a lie. They say, I specified that was the only reason he was allowed to swing by. And this is really a twist on things. Let's see. So this is actually the receipt from the in-store pickup. And this is not an automated message. It says, hi, Daniel, your rope dart is ready for pickup. Here's a typo here or something. They say, did my system send you a notification? When would you like to pick it up? They say, I'll be heading out of town, blah, blah, blah. I hope your week is going well. Now, for context, this occurred after they wrote that I was this creepy, dangerous dude, specifically like this creepy guy that came to the pet sitting thing that I was invited to, a weekend stay at their friend's home. And in other places, the owner of Fire Mecca wrote how that was such a creepy thing. I was being a creep, and that was so bad and stuff. Okay. After after that weekend, the owner of Fire Mecca then writes this. When would you like to pick it up? I hope your week is going well. Not, hey, I think we better just meet at another location, or I've changed my mind and I'd rather mail your package to you, right? Like, someone who was so creeped out wouldn't behave this way, right? So, which is probably why this person here is saying this doesn't quite make sense. You're so scared of this guy, but you let him into your home. Okay, now at that point, we were friends. I've shown some of the text messages, and I can show more. The owner of Fire Mecca was, based on all the messages, was basically treating me like a best friend. And so I hope your week is going well. This is after the weekend that they claimed I was such a creep. Instead of saying, hey, I changed my mind, I don't want you to come to my house, maybe I'll just mail it to you or something like that, or let's meet in a public location for your pickup. Get this. This is the message I got from the Fire Mecca order. Now, I had been helping with some other business stuff, kind of like some tech feedback things, and that's why they write, "Did my system send you a notification?" I even have a message where the owner of Fire Mecca says, "You're the first person who's ever done a like an in-store pickup, and that's so awesome." Well, anyways, and they say, "When would you like to pick it up?" This context all matters. So I write back, "Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3." I write that because, okay, so did my system send you a notification? Okay, that's why I wrote that. I got this message. I'm just checking the pickup message now. There was another message that the system automatically sent that said, "Here's the hours of pickup," which was only Monday through Thursday during like 9 to 5, like normal business hours. Um, I had um, working normally during those times, but because we were friends, we ended up saying, "Hey, it's cool if you pick it up on a weekend, like maybe Saturday or Sunday." And so I say it. I didn't realize it was only Monday through Thursday, so I'll have to plan ahead because I would have had to take work off to go pick it up. So I'm like, I'll have to plan ahead next week. Like, I'll have to make sure I can get the time off to go to the store, which was her house, to get it. I say, and like the automated message didn't really tell you what to do, it just gave you the address and the times. That's why I say I wasn't sure if I should just show up and knock, if I have to call ahead. Like, it didn't say anything. It didn't say, "Please call when you arrive at the gate." It didn't have any information. Okay? Then the owner of Fire Mecca, oh, sorry, it's a little small. Owner of Fire Mecca writes back, "You can visit any time because you've already been to my house, lol." This kind of shows the nature of the closeness of our friendship. Like, I'd already been to their house a few times. They'd been to my apartment at least once or twice. Um, and I thought that we were close friends. Um, they like they're like, this message is essentially, "You're not a stranger to me. Um, I make an exception for you." I already showed some of the text messages, and I can show them again in another video where they say how wonderful of a guy you are. We need people around like you. You're such a good guy. Okay? That's the type of text messages the owner of Fire Mecca would send to me. Again, this is all after they allege that I was a creep in the "Are we dating the same guy?" There's no indication of any of that. "You can visit any time because you've already been to my house, lol." Like, this is how friends chat with each other. This isn't, "Gosh, this guy's a creep. I don't know him very well. I haven't known him very long. Maybe I better stick to, my business hours." Or they even told me in person that normally they don't have people come directly to the address, but that they give like a third address, like to pick up your items. They said, "Normally I have people meet me either at the gate or I have people meet me like at a coffee shop or something," right? Because you're you've opened your business up to online orders that allow store pickup, but you work from your apartment. So instead of acting like that, they're like, "Hey, we're already good friends. You've already been to my house, lol. You can come anytime. You don't have to come within the normal business hours, Monday through Thursday, when the normal pickup window they said was." Okay? Um, so going back to this, See how they write, I specified that was the only reason he was around to swing by my house. Um, like, this paints a very different picture of how the owner of Fire Mecca um, was acting towards me as far as our friendship, our business relationship. On the Are We Dating the Same Guy, they make it sound like I'm essentially this stranger who was a little bit creepy. That's why, like, look at the person who wrote before. Why, after the cat went missing, would she let him come to her home with or without a stranger? Like, she used the word stranger, psychopath, okay, trying to get people riled up. Then they write, um, also the cat hadn't gone missing yet, but you forget that they did write that the owner of Fire Mecca already wrote that before the order pickup, that they had already determined I was this creepy guy. So they're saying, oh, well, I did let him come to my house because this cat hadn't gone missing yet. But even that timeline doesn't line up. Either way, someone asking, so they've done this before because a friend of mine messaged Corinne asking for any evidence of the restraining orders, any evidence of, like, because they wrote that they have videos of me screaming at people, videos of me screaming at the owner of Fire Mecca. Those None of those videos have ever come out because they don't exist, because that never happened. When my friend asked the owner of Fire Mecca for any of this evidence of the restraining orders and stuff, the owner of Fire Mecca said to kindly fuck off. I don't owe you any evidence. If you don't, support me, like, go away. Blah blah blah. Same language here. This user here, Brittany, asks these questions. In they say interrogating, like, this doesn't make sense. Like, help me understand. Is there any evidence of this or whatever, right? And then the owner of Fire Mecca writes, you're kind of an asshole just for asking questions. Then they write, Brittany writes, yeah, sorry, when a piece doesn't fit, asking questions makes me an asshole. So, Brittany, you don't have to be sorry for asking questions. That's actually the right thing to do because the story doesn't make any sense. Here's what I just said. You said he had red flags prior, yet you invite him into your home, right? That's why it doesn't make sense. Who cares if he wanted to buy something on your day off? It does exactly what I just said. If the cat didn't go missing until after, why are you blaming him? He went back to this. Yeah, I went back to this person's house 3 hours away just to take a cat. Be for real now. So Brittany's catching on that these are all lies. Sorry, I forgot to zoom in, but yeah. The owner of Fire Mecca spinning lies. When you ask questions, they're just going to resort to name calling because that's the type of person that they are. Okay. So this was the pickup. This was the you can visit anytime because you've already been to my house. Okay. I don't know if you still want to support this business or, um, buy anything from Fire Mecca when they act like this, when they spread lies. Imagine ordering something and then your order doesn't go exactly right. Um, they're gonna lie. Probably they're just gonna say, "Hey, you're a liar," right? Imagine like your order being slightly wrong. they're going to say, hey, you know, you asking questions, they might say, hey, you're an asshole for asking questions about your order. I mean, who knows? Um, so this is one of their business associates with Burners Without Borders. Now, I said that we were going to talk about this other part about the owner of Fire Mecca not only lying to the public, but lying to their business partners, lying to um, their followers online. Um, so this is about, they're saying here on YouTube, I resigned from my Black Rock Ranger status. And this is image again from the Are We Dating the Same Guy group. Here's the thing about the where she accused me of stealing a cat. Now, curiously, in the here's Jill again. You can see this is her business partner and friend Jill on the left side of the screen, and this is where the owner of Fire Mecca. So they spread lies to Jill. And Jill, you've been lied to. You're being duped by your business partner. Curiously, in the Are We Dating the Same Guy group, they did write here, I've lost my volunteer position. Now, at this point, the owner of Fire Mecca still thinks this is a secret group. They don't understand yet that this is actually a public group. So they write things in secret and in private that are different from what they write in public. So here they say, I lost my volunteer position. This is the Black Rock Ranger position. They literally wrote this in Are We Dating the Same Guy? And of course, they can't take any responsibility, or accountability. They don't understand what accountability is, because instead of saying I lost my volunteer position for assaulting this guy, instead they write I lost my volunteer position because someone leaked my post. So they can't even understand that losing the volunteer position was because of their own behavior. Instead, they're going to blame someone else. Imagine ordering a product from them and you get something wrong with the product. They could just blame you instead of saying, oh, sorry, I'm accountable for the order being wrong. Let me try to correct it. For all you know, they're going to say, oh, the order was wrong because of something you did, right? They lost their Black Rock Ranger position because someone leaked my post? No, it's because A, you made the post in the first place, and B, because then after the post was leaked, they went on to assault the guy. They said they're going to make a follow-up video, which they never did. They said there's more videos, which they've said this multiple places. Here's part one of the receipts. I already made a video going over this, that there's no evidence of any of the things that they claim. So let's see. So this is where the business partner Jill wrote on YouTube, stop. Dude, stop. Corinne has legit reasons. She's my business partner and has never posted a death threat ever. Well, we all saw the video. If you haven't seen it yet, well, I can put it in the description. And so we're going to go over more of this stuff, but um, Jill either didn't even see the video, or like this was posted on Jubilee's video covering the death threat. And Jill writes, "Dude, stop. She's never post like made a death threat ever." Like literally a comment on the video that contains the threat. So there's like either she's just ignorant or um, involved in helping spin these lies. Um, so this was part of the conversation. You said, I commented that she had reasons to. So earlier in the conversation, I asked Jill, because Jill contacted me, and I asked Jill, why did you say Corinne has reasons to make these assault, these weapon threats? And Jill ended up saying, I didn't mean that Corinne has reasons to make the weapon threats. I meant she has reasons to. She ended up clarifying. She said Corinne ran a background check on you, and that's where she found your restraining orders. First of all, those still never true. So Corinne lied to Jill. Jill didn't question any of it, and now we can see why, because when you question Corinne, she says, fuck off, or you're kind of an asshole, just for questioning her. Now, we see again, Jill has some kind of, I want to call it a reading comprehension issue, but it's looks a lot more like a narcissistic type of thing where they have a story in their head, and when reality butts up, like when reality conflicts with the story Jill has in her head, she thinks she can just lie about it and that nobody's gonna see that. Look at the this is the post Jill made. It says, dude, stop. Corinne has legit reasons. She's my business partner and has never posted a death threat ever. When I ask, the reason I said this, your post doesn't mention background checks at all, because early in the conversation, Jill said, oh, I was referring to this background check that Corinne ran on you. And I'm like, your post doesn't mention background checks. Look at this. Jill writes, it says that I said she had reasons to ask questions about you. No, it doesn't. It doesn't say Corinne has reasons to ask questions about you. It doesn't say that. Okay? There's something wrong. There's a reading comprehension issue. Like, everyone can see what Jill posted publicly, but when you ask these people in private, you try to talk to them, they completely change the narrative. Now, going back to this, I already showed, Jill writes, so Corinne, we're going to show this, Corinne wrote to a bunch of their friends that it was a really weird post, but basically that, I'll just show it here. Lost my volunteer position. Dear Black Rock Ranger leadership, I'm writing to formally resign from my position. Okay? So they knew that a bunch of their followers and their friends were going to read this and be like, oh, they resigned. Well, problem is the timeline. Jill commented that they're grateful for our friendship. On that, even they wrote that they're grateful for our friendship, even though Jill knew that Corinne posted this lie that I'm writing to formally resign from my position. Um, why this is why this matters is because in private, um, in messages, Jill says she, referring to Corinne, she told me straight up, by the way, that she was let go from Rangers. So here's the thing. Jill not only knew that she was let go of Rangers, um, we don't know if Jill knew why she was let go, but she was let go for violating policy by publicly assaulting me. Um, but um, Jill not only knows that Jill's saying that Corinne told me she was um, let go from Rangers, yet um, doesn't seem to care, like wants to continue working with, being friends with, associating with the same person who had no problem lying, saying that they resigned from their position. They write, I feel compelled to share some of the reasons that have led me to this conclusion, some of the reasons that have led me to resign. This is a lie. Okay. Why? Um, I mean, I I've mostly been open-minded that Jill has been duped, but after this came out, now we know that Jill knew and is choosing to continue to associate, continue to work with someone who is a proven liar. Um, some of the other stuff that Jill said will probably appall you. Um, and the moral compass of this woman, based on what they said to me, is highly questionable. Once again, last time I checked, the original post about me in the Are We Dating the Same Guy group is still up. Not really sure why that's still up, um, but looks like just digging in, uh, like just keep digging this hole, keep digging, leave it up, leave it up. It's like the longer it's up, the more that they're showing that they're okay with this behavior. And taking it down would be a behavior in line with a movement towards recognizing that the behavior is not good. Um, Jill probably doesn't know that um, this is what uh, the owner of Fire Mecca publicly wrote about them because Jill is one of the unpaid volunteers. Just so you know, Jill, publicly, the owner of Fire Mecca wrote that you, as one of the unpaid volunteers, wouldn't care if I died, um, or let alone if I ruin their career. Um, I mean, this might be true because, like, I don't know what lengths Jill has gone to try to convince the owner of Fire Mecca to do the right thing and take the post down. Um, if Jill, like, I can imagine Jill being like, hey, this might ruin your career. You already lost some things. This might ruin your career, especially, like, look at all these flow art groups this could go to. Um, I mean, I have been criticized because here's the Poi one, 17,000 members. Um, I think, yeah, Jill may have been like, look, this could tank your business. Um, Maybe it's not worth it to hold on to being to hold on to the lies. Um, but then again, um, maybe Jill doesn't care if the business keeps going or doesn't care if any of this ruins the career. Like in that case, Jill would just be, apathetic. It's kind of funny because, um, or not funny in a ha ha way, but funny in like a weird way. Um, Good friendships, I think, involve telling people, giving people advice, like telling them like hard truths, let's say. Um, but bad friendships are when you think that you're friends with someone, they are doing some self destructive behavior, and you just stand there and watch apathetically and just like watch your friend crash and burn, um, and you don't never try to intervene. You never try to be like, hey, we've been friends a long time. I'm telling you, I mean, I can't control you, but as your friend, like, you really should do the right thing, right? It's possible Jill is just sitting by, and actually, this is true that um, the owner of Fire Mecca knows that Jill doesn't care if their career is ruined. So far as we can tell, that seems maybe likely. Um, the background check thing I can go into more. I already showed, I don't have any issues on my background check, but according to Jill, Corinne said that Corinne did a background check on me, shared it with Jill, or shared the results, but like Jill never shared, like, it's clear to me Jill never saw the actual background check, um, or if they did and saw that it had nothing, is okay with perpetuating this lie. Um, it was under the guise that um, Corinne claimed that I was trying to join their organization, which is not true. Um, and upon looking up the law, um, nonprofits have to follow these legal things where they have to get nonprofits have to get a person's consent to run a background check on them. Um, and because Jill claimed that it was under the guise of me, quote unquote, trying to join their organization, which was not true. But um, according to Jill, that was the context in which Corinne ran a background check on me. But I never filled out any consent form, and that's actually illegal. You can't just have your nonprofit just run background checks on people that you happen to meet. Um, that's not legal. And the nice thing about that is you don't even actually need a lawyer to get the background check authority. I already went over that to look into it. Um, now, um, I think it's unlikely that, as far as I can tell, um, Jill is happy to associate with people that do this kind of stuff. Um, and I've kind of yet to see them behave in any way that shows a moral compass in this regard. Um, okay, we went over that. This is them talking about how they got removed from Rangers. Yeah, so this is this is again where in some places they write that they resigned. They told Jill that they resigned from Rangers. Look, or she told Jill that she was let go of Rangers, but then other places wrote that they resigned. They wrote they resigned here, and they wrote here, this is my resignation. But then in other places, they write um, that they were removed from Rangers. So, like, which is it? Um, it's you're just looking at the owner of Fire Mecca just spewing out like I'm not sure there is any like grounding in reality. I mean, they just like write whatever comes to mind and then just believe it. Um, this is where they wrote where they were under investigation. Um, I'm being banned from these are the burning or these are the ranger camps while they investigate the reports. I encouraged violence and laughed at it. Um, so like this is why they were removed as a ranger because these turned out to be true, um, which is um, where was the thing? Oh yeah, when they wrote that they resigned, um, and then right in the same thing they write that they were informed they would be stripped of their roles. Um, a decision influenced by targeted online harassment, which is true. The owner of Fire Mecca uh, harassed me online, did targeted online harassment towards me. I mean, we already looked at this where they wrote all over lies that I had restraining orders. Like, yeah, they really did the targeted online harassment. Um, what's crazy is because uh, I'll go over this in another video, but what's they write that no one watched the videos. Like that's not true. They watched the threats. That's for sure. Um, she writes that in the investigation. In a nutshell, she writes that no one asked, is she safe? Did she actually do any of the things she's accused of? Like, of course they did. That's why it was an investigation. So I leave it to you whether if you're in the flow arts community and you get asked, do you want to do um, affiliate work for Fire Mecca? Um, this and these other videos might show this is the person that you're working for. This is the type of behavior that they do. Um, and they had zero remorse, um, no problem, no problem spreading malicious lies about a former Fire Mecca affiliate. Um, and I don't want you to end up in that position. There are lots of other brands to work for. There's lots of other brands to purchase from. Um, for whatever reason, the owner of Fire Mecca has surrounded themselves with, in addition, um, business partners. See, Jill is my business partner, um, who, for some reason, do not have any sense of accountability, um, which it's not Jill's fault that the owner of Fire Mecca did any of this stuff, but um, if you work for this person, understand that you will so likely also end up being connected to other people that clearly have no moral compass. I'll show you this other thing for see Jill, grateful for our friendship. I mean, Jill knows all this stuff and doesn't even seem to care. Um, where is this other one? Yeah, I showed this. This is a screenshot the owner of Fire Mecca posted um, of their text messages with Jill to 60, 70,000 people, where they're uh, telling Jill, um, I'm this creepy guy, and we don't. Um, I showed the whole video of this of what was shown from this text message conversation, but um, Jill didn't seem to question any of it. Didn't ask for any evidence. Um, I don't know what Jill is getting out of this association, or how Jill is like somehow benefiting from continuing to work with the owner of Fire Mecca. Um, but there's clearly an association here. We don't even know. We know that the owner of Fire Mecca sent Jill my address. Well, we don't know how much other stuff completely that the owner of Fire Mecca sent to Jill. How many other lies they sent to Jill. Um, and we might have to talk about some of the other people that have um, might not be aware that they were lied to. Um, so the next video, well, I'll leave it a mystery what we will cover next. But otherwise, yeah, make sure you do your research on companies that you might work for or might want to purchase from.